Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. Let me check something here and make sure the audio is decent so that I'm not annoying both you and me. Going to my channel, which you should, and like and comment, subscribe. Check one. Okay, that's because I'm muted. Okay, good to go. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. Coffee. My name's Ryan. I get stuff from yard sales, garage sales, friends' houses, thrift stores, and other similar places. Try to make a few extra bucks online. It's the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I got stuff. I sold some stuff, not as much as I usually Thanksgiving weekend, particularly if I go out of town, is usually a pretty big weekend for sales. Um, but I'm not too disappointed because, like, cost price wise, I had some pretty good sales out the door. We only have 4 sales over Thanksgiving weekend. And that's from Tuesday to today, so that's almost a week, and that's like way down on my average sales. But I haven't listed anything in like 2 weeks, uh, which probably affects a big part of it. But I got stuff to list now. We'll go over some of that. But on to sales. Several vintage toy sales and a hymnal. So we're going to jump into it. The logo is the hymnal. This is the old school hymnal, uh, 1980 edition for 14 bucks. Hymnals haven't had a ton of success. I haven't had found any lately. Um, Hymnals to resell. Uh, your hymnals, and I've actually got, if you go to my channel and go to videos, the last video I posted is actually a hymnal selling guide that I go through some of the things that help you find hymnals. Uh, and the big thing is hymnals from conservative congregations and older hymnals. I have had success mostly with older stuff and mostly with more conservative congregations. So and the hymnals lot up well as well. I've had sold a couple 3 batches for like $3 to $5 a piece for old hymnals that don't do well by themselves, but that's how it goes. So 14 bucks for that. Next up is this bag. Yeah, this little bag. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle weapons and accessories. Probably about 20 of them in here. None of them super rare. Otherwise, it would have sold almost overnight. But this little bag, $35. Accessories are actually probably the biggest seller in the action figure market outside of rare figures. They're great. You can get a box of them. You can lot them up and sell them if you don't know what you have. You can put the homework in and find the really valuable stuff. And so there's a handful of ways, and it all sells just about. So don't sleep on action figure accessories, and in fact, possibly even focus on them first whenever you're doing action figures. Unless you got something super rare, this stuff sells easy, packs easy, and all that. Next up, and there's some figures I got to pull out here. This is about half of this sold, half of it didn't. But Ghostbusters Ghosts from the original action figure line. I sold 10 of them, if that many, for 40 bucks shipped. And all this is from a find a couple months ago at a yard sale that the lady liked me, and I told her, and it was one of those situations that I was up front. I was like, "Look, I'm looking to get a deal on this stuff." I picked out a handful of bags, like either stuff I wanted or stuff I knew was worth something. Um, And I told her I'm just looking to we're going to resell most of this. And I was honest with her, and I know there was at least one other collector apparently that showed up and didn't buy it, and he lost out from what she was asking, because what I paid for it, I have already I think I've doubled my money already, from 200 to 400 bucks, and I still have more to sell. So, including, and this is one of the things that sold. This is a Zoids Battle Cougar from Tomy, 1990. And this is a parts buy. There's some wings that go on to it. There's some parts right here that are broken off. This is a parts buy. This sold for $50. If it had all the wings and stuff, it was like an over $100 item. But this is apparently a little more rare. But yeah, parts buy. I actually think this is going out of the country. I think somebody outside the U.S. has bought this and is going to get it. I think this is actually like a drop shipper or something that flipped that. So, which is fine, no problem, because I made a bunch of money on that thing. So that's my sales, and so I even though they're good sales, and I really don't have much to complain about. And a lot of it's from my own not listing stuff. So that's what that is. So fines. A friend of the family, I was out of town, and a friend of the family contacted my mom and said, "Look, I got a bunch of my grandson's stuff here. He left a bunch of it behind when he moved out and doesn't want it. So does Ryan want it to resell it?" Yes, I do. So this guy was a little bit of a nerd, and some of the stuff that he left, and this is probably we'll go from least interesting to most interesting. Radio Shack shirts. This is like the last of them, so I haven't looked them up yet, so I'm not entirely certain how good they are. There are some. This is a Daniel Bryan wrestling t-shirts. Wrestling t-shirts. Wrestling is kind of hot right now, so if sell them if you got them. I've got 3 or 4 here that I'm going to flip. This is an interesting, probably the most interesting one here is a Tiger Mask t-shirt. So that's what we're going to be flipping there. And those should go out pretty good. Got a handful of books from them. But probably the most interesting thing are a series of Princess Mononoke prints. And I'm not sure as to the value on these right now. And there's 3 or 4. There's 3 of them in here. And I don't see it yet on eBay. I haven't really dove down to try to figure out what the value on these is. There are 3 of them framed, ready to go. So I'm going to probably try to get these figured out and listed first, particularly if there's high value to them. That's probably the most valuable thing I got. But some bread and butter stuff. Denim jackets. I got a big pile of denim jackets. The denim jackets never really go out of style. And I think I've sold every single one I've ever gotten. Some way less than others, but I've tripped over some good ones, and I almost want to say that just about any decent quality denim jacket is worth $15. Whether or not it's worth putting on the ship is a different question if it's too heavy. But I've got like some men's denim jackets, so we'll see how those go over the next couple weeks. So is that everything I need to talk about? I think that's everything I need to talk about this morning, because we all got work to catch up on, because it's Monday after Thanksgiving, and you've been out of work and I've been out of work, and we all got work to do. So what are you doing watching me? Go like, comment, subscribe down there, and then get back to work with coffee.